Hi, it's Imogen Lamport from Inside Out Style, coming to answer your colour and style question. How do I be petite and plus size? I'm only 4'10". I'm finding it really hard. And the thing with when you are petite and plus size is that you're shopping for clothes that really are not designed to fit you at all. Because when we go out, so when the clothes get larger, so they get larger outwards, then what happens is they also make them longer. Because then on the hanger, they look proportionally correct. So when we're thinking about when you are petite and larger, everything is getting longer and longer and longer. You're going to find to get your body into clothes, the clothes are all too long. So you have two choices. One is that everything gets altered. And this is where, there are some petite and plus size ranges, but even as a 4'10" or whatever it is, you're going to find yourself that that's still too long, but at least you're altering from not as long as from regular size, which tends to even get longer. So think about, yes, you're going to need alterations. You have to buy for the widest part of you, but also just plus size isn't just one body shape. You also need to figure out what is your body shape. Are you still a waisted shape? Have you lost your waist? Like, what is your body shape? Because we're still working with those sort of guidelines as well. And there are differences between the clothes, but really proportions is what's going to matter the most. So thinking about that, everything has to be shortened. Everything has to be taken up, and this can mean that kind of the construction of the clothes can be a little bit not work very well, particularly if where the waistline is not where your waist is, where the knee is supposed to be in a pair of trousers is not where your knee is, and so therefore even when you take them up they don't look quite right. And this is where sometimes having clothes made or learning to sew makes a massive difference, because you get to control these and you get to actually put those garments, elements of a garment in the right spot for you. And that's one of the things that whenever you buy a pattern, it'll have like I need to make the waist longer or shorter. And this is where the line, you either cut the pattern, you add a little piece of something in, or you shorten it at this spot so that those proportions are correct for you. But knowing that everything you buy, remember that clothes and garment, retailers, it's all about coat hanger appeal. And so therefore everything gets longer as it gets wider. So you really need to think about everything has to be taken up. There is no way around it. Mass marketing manufacturing is not about flattering you and your unique body shape or your height or any of those sorts of things. It's about getting the maximum number of, people into a garment, whether or not it suits them. And so it is one of those things that particularly when you're petite and plus, you'll find that everything is too long and your proportions are really out of balance and everything will swamp you and it will not look right. So yeah, getting everything taken up is the first most important thing, but it can be thinking about, is there another way around this? Can I have things made? Can I learn to sew and make things myself so I'm in charge of creating the clothes that actually work for your unique shape, because it's outside manufacturing standards. So remember that they have a certain body that's based on a certain set of proportions that are often very unrealistic and very different compared to your own personal ones. And that it's not because there's anything wrong with you, it's that they are not using this. So your manufacturing standard, which most of us have a non-manufacturing standard body shape in some way or other, means that it's really super hard to find things that fit. So I'm with you on the pain. I've taken plenty of clients who are petite and plus size shopping, and it is really tricky. But it's not just settling for anything. It's still finding the things that you love. And this is where sometimes it's, it's as expensive quite often if you find a decent dressmaker to have something made as it is to buy a decent quality garment. But at least when you're having it made, you can choose the fabric, you can choose the pattern, you can choose, and everything's then made to fit you, which means that the garment's going to look 100% better than when it's made to fit a mannequin who's 7 foot tall, because that's pretty much what the mannequins are, particularly when you get to the plus size department. So I wish I could magic up something and make it work for you, but just like with every other body shape, we all have to figure out what works for us. We all have to figure out, what matters to us, the body shape, proportions, body variations, our personality, our coloring, the scale of things, all those sorts of things come into it, and then appreciate that we're unique individuals and, clothing retailers are mass market and they're not making things for us. So if we find something that's fabulous, if we don't, it's not because there's anything wrong with you. You are perfect just as you are. It's just that clothing manufacturers are not taking you into consideration.